Now this is the 2021 Audi S3, and it is of course the facelifted Audi S3. The Audi S3 has long been hailed as the king of the hot hatch segment, a lot would say, and today's video we're going to be taking a look around this example we've got here because the condition and spec of it is absolutely immense. My name's Will, this is the S3 and you're watching ALX Specialist Cars. So the example we've got here is covered just over 30,000 miles. The car is in an incredible condition. It comes with some options that you don't actually often see on these S3s. As it is the facelift model I mentioned, it does get differences from the front, the side and the back and even the inside. It's been redesigned, the lights have been redesigned, the interior screen's been redesigned and it's all been modernised and updated. But don't get me wrong, these cars are still what they were always about, which is power but everyday usability. These cars come with all-wheel drive, the Quattro system. They've got over 300 brake horsepower and it is of course a 5-door with a decent amount of space, meaning you can use this car every day. The options start with the wheels because these are the 19-inch upgraded alloy wheels. They're finished in gloss black and I think they just set the car off. Being black on black, it does look the part. The next thing you'll notice is the mirrors do fold in electronically on these. That's actually standard, and on the interior that's where it's quite unique because it's got sports seats, which is an upgrade, but they're also grey and leather, which again is quite uncommon on these cars. Often you'll get the black leather, but to see one with grey leather is very unique, and I think it just sets it apart slightly, just enough to make it a little bit different from the rest on the market. The car is of course a 5-door, and hidden behind the privacy glass you've got 3 seats in the rear of the car, and the grey leather does actually continue into the back. As you'll see, you've got the diamond quilt being the sports seating. The centre seat folds down, revealing cup holders as well, and the condition in the rear seats, I would say they've probably never been sat on. The grey leather actually continues onto the door cards as well as the seats, so you get grey there, you get black there, so it's a really nice place to be, and it does make it a little bit more special on the inside of the car. Now the rear of the car, mentioned like the front, has been redesigned. Main thing being the rear tail lights have changed. They've got dynamic sweeping indicators, as do the front on this generation, and of course your S3 badge, your Audi badge is all in gloss black. Opening the boot up, the S3 retains the same amount of space as it does on the previous generations, to be fair. You still get a very good sized boot, and obviously you've got a false floor which does actually lift up. You don't get a spare wheel, but you do get an inflator kit on these cars. Quad tailpipes obviously indicating that this is the S3. Drive modes on this car as well as you would on any other S3, so I think that just helps to make this car an everyday usable vehicle which has a lot of power. I just think from the rear with the updated tail light, I'll unlock the car just so you can see how they look when they're actually sort of lit up. They look super cool, and obviously they do the little dancing show as the front lights do, which again, it's quite cool when you're walking up to the car, it's night and you unlock it and you see that, you know you're driving something quite special. Now if you're watching this video, chances are you're perhaps wondering about being a driver of an S3. You're weighing it up against other hot hatches on the market, and the interior or just the driver focus cockpit this S3 has is next level. You've got the steering wheel you would have seen on the previous generations with the flat bottom. It's got paddles on the side, and obviously the seats are the highlight of this car. S-line embossed, diamond quilt, they're also heated, and the screen in the middle there has changed from the previous generations. You get a digital dash on these as well. It's got Apple CarPlay on the center screen and all your other sort of infotainment screen stuff you would expect. But what I like about the S3 is it does actually still retain a lot of the buttons, so it's not all on the screen, but we'll hop inside now and show you how a bit of that works. So just getting in the S3, guys, the other thing you might have noticed is on the door cards, this does have Bang & Olufsen sound system. It's obviously Audi's upgraded premium audio, and it is a very good speaker system. Slight changes you'll notice, these are all push button by the way, so they're almost, the center console is sort of gone, if you will. The gear shifter is now redesigned to be this sort of minimalistic chrome shifter, which I think looks quite cool, quite modern. Push button to start the car. Your volume is actually controlled by this one here. You do still get the steering wheel controls, so that's probably the easiest way to do it, but if you want to control on here, it's actually like a touchpad. That's how it works. It goes up like that and it goes down like that, which is pretty cool. But I said it retains a lot of the buttons and manual features, which I did like, and that's because they're all on here. So your heated seats, push of a button, and it's simple. It's as you would expect. You don't need to wait for the screen to load up in the morning when it's cold to put your heated seats on, which some cars do now, and I find it really, really annoying. The other thing, you push the home button on here, and then this is where all your media, your Apple CarPlay stuff is, and that is all as you would expect, and it's very usable and of course very, very up to date. The space on the S3 is an everyday usable car. They've done it very, very well. So you've got a phone tray in here with more than enough storage for a couple phones. You've got USB-C charging ports. Being a more up-to-date car, it's got the more up-to-date charging ports. Twin cup holders in there. You can actually lift the armrest up, which is also finished in that grey we were speaking about, just for a little more storage. Door bins provide even more space, and then the interior design of the car has also changed because you get a much more angular dashboard with the vents, with the trim on here. So yeah, it looks very, very cool. And don't forget Quattro badging on there, indicating that this car does of course have all-wheel drive functionality. Now, drive select, that's an important one. If you want to change that, you push that button there. It'll then come up on the screen. If you start the car, it'll automatically go into comfort. So that's just for your everyday comfortable driving, I suppose. Push it once more, you can get auto, so it just decides on your driving style, how you drive, and it'll switch it as and when it feels it should. Dynamic is the sport one, and individual is the interesting one, because that's where you can actually tweak each of the settings to suit your driving style. So you could have the drive system in efficient, balanced, or dynamic. The same with the steering feel, you can have it more weighted, and the same with the engine sound. So you can really play with that and just test out what you like, set it on individual, and just click that and it'll go straight into whatever you set. So yeah, a very great place to be a powerful car, and a very usable one for daily use. Guys, that is the Audi S3 Sportback, obviously, 5-door model, black on black, but with the grey interior. It looks absolutely incredible, and this example is genuinely being very, very well cared for. The condition in and out, I'm sure you can tell, but it is very impressive indeed. Covered just over 30,000 miles. It's a 2021, but it is on a 70 plate. If you'd like any more information on this car at all, any pictures, videos, or you would actually just like to come and view the car, then please do let me know. My name is Will, or any of the team will be happy to help for that matter. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time.